At the School of Seven Flames, there was a props room, bright, a little untidy, full of trunks, ribbons, paper birds, and things that seemed ready for a miracle. That morning, Luna, Tim, and Flin came there together with Ms. Solveyg for a special lesson. In the middle of the room stood a tall mirror, draped in soft cloth, as though someone wanted it to take its time before showing itself. Small bubbles drifted slowly through the air, carrying the scent of sweets and old wood. "What's this?" Flin asked right away, stepping closer. "Today we won't be talking about props," Ms. Solveyg replied. "We'll be talking about the way words sound." Mrs. Solveyg gently touched the edge of the fabric. "This is the mirror of jokes," she said. "It doesn't spread gossip and it doesn't curse. It simply shows very honestly what happens to words when we speak them without thinking. Especially when we hide a sharp edge behind the word, just joking." Flin raised an eyebrow. "So it repeats funny things?" "Sometimes, but more often, the things that hurt, even when you didn't mean them to." Luna looked at the mirror and felt a flutter of unease. "Then why is it here?" "To teach one simple thing," Mrs. Solveyg replied. "Words have weight, even the ones that seem light as air." "Just one look!" Flin cried out before anyone could stop him. He yanked the cloth aside and the mirror was revealed, tall, with soft rippling glass, like water that had frozen still inside its frame. At once, the paper birds around the room came to life. One circled near the ceiling, another settled on the chest. The bubbles began to drift faster, and a golden light shimmered in their transparency. "Flin," said Luna, "we haven't even started the lesson yet." "So what?" He laughed. "I'm just going to look." But the mirror was already looking back at him, and deep within it, something flickered for a moment. Something like a smile. Not a wicked smile, but a watchful one, as if it had been waiting for the first words. Flin couldn't hold back. "All right then, here's the first joke," he exclaimed. "Tim thinks so long he has time to think for two people at once." He expected laughter, but the mirror suddenly repeated his voice, louder, sharper, as if the whole hall were answering. "Tim thinks so long he has time to think for two people at once." The paper birds caught the phrase and fluttered up toward the ceiling, repeating it again and again. Tim smiled awkwardly at first, then went quiet. "I didn't mean it seriously," Flin added quickly. "It was just a joke." The mirror repeated once more. It was just a joke. But in its glass, for just a moment, there appeared not laughter, but a thin shadow, as if someone had felt a blow that no one else had noticed. Flin thought everything was fine. After all, nobody was arguing. So he tossed out another joke about how Tim always checks things 3 times, even when he's counting the stairs. The mirror caught his words again and made them bigger, brighter, as if putting them on display for everyone to see. The bubbles glowed more intensely. Luna glanced at Tim and saw that he had lowered his eyes. He didn't say a word, but his shoulders dropped, just barely, yet very, very truly. "Flin," Luna called quietly, "maybe that's enough?" "What?" He looked surprised. "I'm just having fun." Mrs. Solveyg gently shook her head. "The mirror doesn't mind fun. It minds words that hurt, when you pretend that nothing happened." Flin turned back to Luna. "Can you even take a joke?" he said with a grin. "Or do you just look at everyone so seriously, like a big sister?" The mirror responded instantly. Deep within it, ribbons of light twisted into strange patterns, as if someone had drawn Luna in a funny, unrecognizable way. A few students who had just entered the room laughed nervously. Luna felt her cheeks grow hot. "I'm not anyone's sister," she said quietly. "And I don't like it when people say things like that." Flin blinked. "Wow, you're so sensitive." He began again, but the mirror had already repeated the earlier phrase so loudly that everyone froze. Luna didn't cry. She simply stepped back. And somehow that was worse than any scream. The younger students entered the room, and the mirror seemed to come even more alive. When one little girl shyly approached the chest, an old joke of Flin's suddenly rang out from the glass, about those who always ruin everything with their hesitation. The girl flinched. When a boy dropped a ribbon, the mirror repeated another joke, about those who are too slow to be of any use. Some children laughed, others fell silent. "That's not me talking right now," Flin cried out. "But you did say it," replied Mrs. Solveyg. "The mirror doesn't make things up. It only shows how words go on living even after you've forgotten them." For the first time, Flin felt that the room had become not merry, but tense. Luna stepped closer to Flin. "You wanted everyone to have fun," she said quietly, but very clearly. "I know. You always do that when you're worried or when you don't know what to say." "What's wrong with that?" he muttered. "I'm not hitting anyone." "You hit with words," Luna replied. "And they're not funny anymore. They sting." Tim nodded without lifting his eyes. "I didn't like it," he said at last. "But I thought you were just joking." "I thought so too," Luna added. "But a joke shouldn't make another person feel small." Flin looked at the mirror, and for the first time, it seemed to him that it wasn't showing laughter. It was showing what came after. "But it was just a joke," Flin cried out, already a little angry from embarrassment. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone." The mirror responded instantly. Deep within its surface, the words he had just spoken seemed to transform into tiny, glowing splinters and slowly drifted down onto Tim and Luna. Not real ones, not dangerous, but very, very visible. Tim flinched. Luna pressed her palms together. "You see," said Mrs. Solveyg quietly. "Words don't disappear just because you said I was joking. They still reach the person." Flin felt his throat go dry. He had always thought words were light, like bubbles, but now it seemed that some of them weighed more than he was ready to carry. Flin was quiet for a long time. Then he let out a breath and walked over to Tim. "I'm sorry," he said simply, without any jokes. "I wanted to be funny, but instead I hurt you." Tim looked up at him. "Thank you for saying that. Like, you really meant it." Then Flin turned to Luna. "And you too. You're not too serious. You're just you. And I shouldn't have said what I said." The mirror changed. The waves in the glass grew slow and gentle. The bubbles began to glow with warm gold once more, and the paper birds, instead of repeating everything, drifted in quiet circles, as if they were holding space for the peace between them. "There it is," said Mrs. Solveyg. "Words can heal too, when they carry truth inside them." When the tension eased, Ms. Solveyg invited everyone to sit together by the mirror. "What was the hardest part today?" she asked. "Understanding that a joke isn't a shield," Flin replied, "and admitting that words still reach a person no matter what," Tim added. Luna nodded. "And also, not all laughter is the same. Some laughter brings people closer, and some makes them lonelier." Ms. Solveyg smiled. "The mirror of jokes doesn't forbid having fun. It reminds us, even a light word can carry weight. So before you speak, it's worth asking not, Is this funny? But will this hurt? In the evening, Flin returned to the props room alone. The mirror stood quiet and soft, as though it too was resting after a long day. Moklik sat on his shoulder, gazing curiously at the rippled glass. "I thought words float away like bubbles," Flin whispered, "but sometimes they stay." He looked into the mirror and said, "Not a joke, but something true. Tim, you are very attentive, and that isn't funny. That's good." The glass glowed faintly with warm light and quietly repeated, "That's good." Flin smiled. For the first time, without rushing to prove he was funny. Being responsible with words didn't mean staying silent. It meant choosing words that didn't leave people hurting, but breathing a little easier.